Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kaniti, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today we are going to watch 20th episode of second season of Anime to Your Eternity, so last episode of the season. Let's get to it, let's go. I can't believe it. Last episode. A vessel that is born. Yes. And they won. Yes. I was just so excited. I'm excited to watch the last episode. I'm like, I don't know, I felt like with this season, it went like I watched the first 8 episodes and I was like super invested. But then, like, I had a bit of a fall off after that. Like, this 8, they just flew by. Then it kind of wasn't the same, and I was like just chilling around. Then, again, from let's say like when we kind of got to a turning point in this like defense of Renreal. I was like, oh wait, this is getting pretty interesting again, right, last 4 episodes, right, and this is like the fifth one so to say, right, out of them. So like the previous 4 episodes, it kind of picked up a little bit, and like previous few were like, "Ooh, okay, what the heck is happening? I have to watch the next one and the next one." And then in the previous one, it felt like the resolution, but I was still curious, like what is going to happen in like the very last episode? How are we wrapping up this arc? How are we wrapping up this season? This is so optimistic now compared to the first season. End of an era. Yeah, like this is the end of this arc at least. Are we going to have another like 100 years time skip? I wonder. Like, how is it gonna go? Oh, oh, her son is also revived. Oh, thank God. Hyra is just watching from the shadows. At least show her that you're alive too. She saw you die in horribly. Yeah, that's how it works. Oh, girl. You saw his age and you still thought it's her boyfriend? Isn't it obvious? Dude, you're so silly. I even thought he's saying like your dad is gonna be mad, like well your new dad, you know. Oh my gosh, this is so silly. Okay, that's reasonable. I understand why he is mad about his sister dying. Okay, that's also fair. Where was he anyway? I forgot. We kind of protected the city, dude. Okay, he's being unfair now. I thought at first, okay, he's angry because his sister has died, so he kind of reacting. Hmm. S- I'm conflicted. Is he a good person? Well, they spent a lot of time together. It's natural they get attached to each other, right? Yeah, it seems like her hair is so long. I guess it was just like put away. So caring. You cute. I'm hungry. Oh, this is also happy. Good question. Mm. Mhm. As I assume, like the map, I talked about it this previous episode. So, like, we protected the city, now we can just go and leave. You're still pretty young. Maybe by this body she meant she's like not as strong. That would be so cute. I would love to have my own bakery. Oh, that's what you want. That's it. Good question. I'm not sure if that's a good lesson. It's a good dream to make the world peaceful. Yes. They just left the city. And Fushi still doesn't control the whole world with himself. And he doesn't want his friends to continue fighting with him. He wants them to go and live their lives further. Hmm. So sure. Ah, like as a form? Very optimistic. Oh, just off screen? And like, did her soul leave? Okay, that is understandable. Hmm. So he hopes to create the safe world first and then revive everyone who is dead by that point and oh, she's so cute. I don't think she can eat them as a spirit. Oh, she can? This is incredible. Bon also just realized he can eat spirit food. She wants to take care of her kid. I think it's expected that his friends would want to stay with him. I understand why he doesn't want to put him in more danger. But and also like the world is still a dangerous place even without knockers, to be fair. Stopped? So he can leave? And just run away? And Bon and Eka are going to just stay as spirits? I think Fushi like meant that he wants to revive Eka after all the knockers are gone and world is a safe place. Safer. So he put his consciousness away from his. What is this? What is the plan? Like he's putting his consciousness out, like he's trying to spread throughout the whole world, I assume. To cover the world. He's working on it. Did she die? Tanari gave her the poison? Plenty of explosives. Oh. The church is still going crazy. Kahaku, you okay? Did the knocker at your brain now? Or did he come to actually kill this church dude? So he doesn't even need to have a kid. The knocker would just move on. Okay, that was a direct. He was a direct descendant. Take Fushi. Right, the initial goal was to like have a kid with Fushi. Right. Well, he did his best with that. He did leave the knockers there. So he came to sacrifice himself. Oh gosh. Finally, someone gets rid of these horrible church people. I have. Oh, and the vessels go back now. But as the knocker was cut off, I assume, did it survive? Was it like the agreement with Kahaku? Is this Fushi's roots? Did he decide to give Bon back his body? Because he received the vessels back? Oh, he was murdered. Oh. Oh. Oh gosh. Oh. Anti-Fushi factions, gosh. Oh, I see. She lived to old age. Right hand man. Oh my gosh, that's old Bond. Look at his fantastic hair. He looks so cool even in this age on deathbed. Oh, these dudes too. Oh, oh, that is so cute. Bonchan is definitely my favorite character. He carried this season. He is so good. I just love characters like this. And yeah, he looked so cool, bro. That was beautiful. I mean, so poor March, she didn't want to leave Fusha at all, and she just died slowly thanks to poison Tanari gave her, I assume, because maybe Tanari decided it would be better than if March died of just, I don't know, hunger and thirst and stuff, so it would be a bit easier. Of course, I didn't get any tissues, I didn't get anything. Oh my gosh, why am I crying? It's like it's an optimistic ending, but also it ended on them like living out their lives in different ways and ultimately dying inevitably, of course. Some were better, some were worse. Like Kai, for example, he did live to the old age at least, right? Then Messar, I feel like he was also still. He always liked to enjoy life, but when he was like before the events of Frenreal, he seemed to be like living more or less normally, not of excess with excess. But I feel like death of his sister, his half sister, it really like all the events here, it really hurt him a lot. Wait, is this an additional scene? The boy? Did he come back to life like I hoped? Is this him? Not Fusha, but him. Wow, this is like present time with cars and. Is this so? This is seems like the end. Is there really a third season or did I mess it up? We made oh we made it. Maybe it was. Production confirmed for season 3. No, his eyes did change, so I assume it was Fushi after all. I wasn't sure. I thought like maybe this is that boy himself, but maybe after all he did live for heaven. Like he was only a vessel for Fushi, like his memory, right? And so like his spirit wasn't really here. But wait, I can scroll back. Oh gosh, that is too much. Wait a second. Let's rewatch it together. I think I can show like just a little bit, right? So he appears. He looks just like the boy. Did the boy have green eyes? Fish. Increíble. And then like so many years have passed. It's like present time. But then see, the eyes changing. So I feel like this is Fushi. He completely covered the whole world. Though I am editing now and I've completely changed my opinion. I've looked again at this ending and then I decided to Google because I don't have the very first episode right now. I Googled it and I think the boy, he had this light purple eyes or light violet eyes when he was alive. And then Fushi was usually shown with these green eyes. So green eyes changing to this light purple should actually in fact be the hint for it being the boy now, kind of Fushi giving this body back to him in this moment. Or like the only thing is, I think it should have been even earlier that this process has happened, because when we see that he's saying, oh, fish, oh, fruit, and this is actually what made me think, oh no, it must still be the boy, because for Fushi it's not shouldn't be that much of a surprise unless he's been in this like void, being covering the whole world for so long that he's excited to see fruit like with his own two eyes, so to say. Because I thought back, I suddenly remembered the first episode. I think the boy was saying like, I think he should know about the fish, so I'm not sure about that, but he definitely said that he wants to go to the big city or something like that, and he heard that there are fruits and they are really tasty and he really wanted to try the fruits. So it makes sense why he would be excited about the fruit. And then he was living in isolation, you could say, right, in this village, so he had no way of knowing how the world looks beyond this place. And so him now coming here in contemporary times, it wouldn't even be that much of a shock, because like it could be anything, and him seeing this world, it even answers more to his wildest expectations. And finally him saying we made it could be him and that dog wolf, though the dog wolf, I didn't see him here in the ending. Maybe he couldn't be revived, and so the boy's like maybe holding the memory in him, and that's why he says we made it. So this is like an alternative theory. The only problem here is firstly that the eyes change after these reactions to fish and fruit, which is a bit like I'm not sure. And secondly, my theory was that souls that remained on Earth, these are the souls that Fushi could recover when he got Bond's body, right? But the other souls he could not recover because they didn't stay as spirits. He had the memories of them, but the spirits left for like heaven or alternate world here, just ascended, and so he couldn't recover them himself until Kahaku did that. But even though Kahaku did return the memories, I assume, by destroying the knocker again, I assume during that last church scene, it would still be only memories. There needs to be a living soul to go and inhabit the body, and we didn't see the boy among the souls that remained on Earth. So yeah, that's like the only issues. I think both theories are viable. It could be the boy with some like tweaks here, and it could be just Fushi saying like we made it, like me and my friends and maybe some souls that are still left that he can revive, something like that. But going back to my conclusion that I made right after watching the episode, and I was talking about Fushi. He did achieve his dream. We saw like how his friends lived out their lives, and maybe that this is it. They finished the ending. They maybe don't even want to be revived in this new safe world. They lived their life and they finished it and they moved on somewhere. Let's say this world has heaven, right? To the heaven. And many years have passed, because the times that we saw, like in the first season and the second season, they are more like, gosh, I'm so bad with history. Well, this is obviously not present times, right? They don't have the same technology as we have now. They don't have the same buildings as we have now. It could be something like 18th century, for example. Just a wild guess. I'm not good at like history and stuff, and this is obviously a bit of an alternate world, so can't really say, right? Maybe they do have books, right? So definitely the books were already there. I would say, yeah, maybe like 18th century or something, or around that time, for example, right? And let's say what we have in the very last scene is like 21st century. So we would assume that even like when we first met Fushi, 200 years after that passed, so like 2 centuries, and the world didn't change that much. I feel like, well, okay, maybe a little bit, maybe first season is like 16th century and the second season would be like 18th century. Then if we keep this logic, let's say 300, I'm very bad in mathematics, like let's say 300 years have passed, right, since the defense of Renril. Let's take this as our point. Presumably, we assume around 300 years later, this is just my assumption, just for like for discussion's sake. 300 years later, let's say, Fushi has covered the whole world. His roots are everywhere, everything is protected, and he has developed and grew so much that now he can actually put part of his vast consciousness into his vessel, the boy's body, his main vessel, and just live his own life further as well. This is what I think, because the way his eyes change and the way he says we made it, I would assume that maybe, yeah, the boy, he is long dead, his spirit didn't stay, right? We didn't see him among the spirits that stayed. He didn't have any personal connection to Fushi. He didn't like even realize about Fushi anything, right? He just died. Unfortunately, his spirit has moved on, and he just became this poster, this vision for this representation of Fushi, right? And so, but now, like he says also, we made it, so maybe he wants to revive his friends in this new era. They would be like, what is this? Everything is so different. And revive Eka and March, and like, guys, it's super safe now. We have a very nice, safe world. Of course, things can still happen. There are still dangers, I would say, but he's trying his best to protect everyone and help everyone. And looks like, yeah, he has grown enough to really keep watch on the whole world and at the same time live his life, and without this vessel of himself even being connected by the rope. He doesn't need the rope anymore. That's so that's my conclusion. That's what we have in the end here. And maybe, but what would happen if this is it? The world is safe, everything is good, no knockers. Fushi is free to do like whatever he wants, I suppose. Keep chilling in the world in this form. He can bring his friends back, but I don't know like if it's really needed. I guess for them to now enjoy this world, but then they will also, like, again, they will live this another life and die after all. I feel like maybe some of them that really died super young, it would make sense to bring them back, but did their spirits really like stay around for that long? March, maybe. We'll see, because this feels like this is it. We've achieved our goal, everything is good, cool, very happy ending, and feels like really an end to the story. Like that's nothing more to say. We have protected this world. This is it. Cool. Yay. So but it even like says in there, and third season, I think. I don't really Google much myself. I don't want to spoil anything. I really don't like spoilers, and obviously it's not good for reactions. But what is it like? What's gonna happen in season 3? Because it feels like we solved everything. Everything is good. Are we just going to have chill slice of life adventure? Yay! And okay, this is like about the ending. I also wanted to add one more thing now that I remembered, because I didn't have time during the episode. So I said like Bonchan is like my favorite character of this season. He's so good. I love him. But I wanted to say also about Kahaku a few words. He's a really interesting character, really multifaceted. Like, I don't hate him, I don't love him, but I find him really interesting. There's so much nuance to him. The thing is how he was brought up, how he has this history of his family line, obviously, and then the knocker also like growing up with him, influencing him in some ways. We can assume maybe like the idea was right for their family to have a child with Fushi, but maybe Knocker felt like this is the way to combine with Fushi at that moment, didn't really want to kill Fushi, but tried to like combine with Fushi if they can't conceive a child. Well, like with like Kahaku and Fushi, maybe Knocker decided, okay, this is kind of the way we do it. I'm not sure, right? But aside from that, Kahaku, I don't think he's like a bad person or a good person. He's like a really gray area person, with different sides of it. But you can see like his feelings for Fushi, his devotion for Fushi, they were really strong. Like, this is not what I would call actually love. Well, because I feel like for me love is something less obsessive and crazy and more like positive and normal and healthy, right? But it is a form of love, I would say, right? Something really strong and obsessive, like I keep bringing up the trope of Yandere, being really unhinged about it. He was also like, the church is the enemy of Fushi, and I can really help Fushi by using myself and sacrificing myself. I'm not sure, maybe that Knocker did after all die with him. Kahaku kind of promised the Knocker, dude, come with me and you're gonna survive forever. So I guess the Knocker did agree to the scheme. That's what I assume. I'm not quite sure. Did it survive? Did it not? And like, if Fushi has by now control of the whole world and so many years have passed, I would assume this Knocker is not alive anymore, or could it still be alive somewhere and be some plot point in the third season? Not quite sure. It looked like everything like blew up in fire. The Knocker was right on the edge of the bridge, and then the two dudes there, they blew up in fire, and then just the whole church blew up in fire, and that's it. Everything is gone. I don't think you can survive that as a Knocker, especially as fire is a weak point. So maybe Knocker didn't realize that it's going to be killed. It was swindled, so to say, by Kahaku. I think that is the more reasonable assumption. And yeah, so what I wanted to say is that I have mixed feelings about Kahaku, but I feel like I'm really impressed with his character, and I just wanted to point this out so we can kind of have this moment to admire Kahaku in this series. I think that's just what I wanted to say. But last thing, Eka. Then Fushi said Eka is dead with such finality, but then he kind of was like, when I make the safe world, I will bring her back. So I would assume maybe her spirit is still chilling around, and he said we made it. So at least some people from his old friends, I assume, might be revived. Maybe not everyone, maybe some of them We're like, okay, like we lived our lives, now we are going to move on. Or maybe most of them, all of them were like, okay, but we have died, but we will stay in spirit and kind of stay with Fush and wait until the time his task is done and he realizes his dream of making like a safe world. But yeah, I guess we'll see in the third season. That's maybe now all I wanted to say. I maybe forgot something, but by now I'm just like overwhelmed. I guess my final thoughts, I did enjoy the second season. I'm happy it was so optimistic. Like the first one was super sad, and you didn't have this feeling of hope, I would say, right, that something good is coming. But this one, and it ended also, I like the first also ended kind of on a positive note, but not the same, still bittersweet, right? But this one, it was super positive. It had some really fantastic characters, again, like Bonchan, and seeing March again was so sweet, like her herself. Eka was so cute too. I'm weak to cute, like characters, cute things, cute characters, everything cute, you know. It was really nice. Again, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, at first it went like really fast for me, then there was kind of deep, and then I really liked the ending, I think. So yeah, this is like my general impression, I guess. I really like the anime in general, though. I think it's really interesting, something unique that at least personally I didn't see anything like that before. So I really appreciate it. Going into the characters, into the personalities, into the humans, our attachment to them, their lives. Oh, it's always something that I love and appreciate. So I really enjoyed that too. So thank you for requesting it to Raymond. That was really nice. But I think with that said, it's probably time for me to end this video. I feel like I'm going to ramble on forever. So please share your thoughts without spoilers for the third season, I guess, of course, in the comments down below. That would be it for today. So thank you for watching and see ya.